Hello and welcome to the trade review of the day. Today is 1/31/2025. We took two trades today. One trade was a loser, one trade was a winner, and I wanted to hop on here and go over why we took the setups that we took today. I think that's a great way for you guys to basically educate yourselves on why we're taking these trades and then see what's working and what's not working to build your own strategy. So today was the first setup of the day. I was looking for these relative equal lows to get swept lower first, and eventually actually take this London low down here. So at the open, we had a nice move up into this new week opening gap, which is this red line here, and we tapped it beautifully. And then price action started to reverse. We dropped down onto a 1 minute time frame. Let me just bring back the replay bar here. So here's my idea. I was looking for a short into these relative equal lows. I love shorting and longing into relative equal lows and highs. Okay. So let me just mark these lows out here. Again, the overall draw was going to be London low. Before I wanted to look for longs today, again, I'm looking for longs today. Doesn't mean that I don't want to take a short trade into a London low before then looking for a long higher, right? Like I want to take London low first and then look for a long. And the market just didn't want to do that today. But this setup, when I was looking at it earlier, 9 out of 10 times, I probably would have taken this trade. I can't really figure out what went wrong here. We have a liquidity sweep up into here. We have a move up into new week opening gap into a higher time frame PD array. Then on the 1 minute time frame, I get a really nice displacement through this fair value gap, right? So we have a bullish fair value gap turned into an inversion. Okay. And at this point, I'm just waiting to take a short into these lows down here. And it just doesn't work. Just doesn't work out. We get the displacement, we get the inversion. I've got relative equal lows and London lows, clean draw and liquidity down there. Market, really no rhyme or reason, bounces off this little order block in here. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's like a 1 minute order block here. Comes up, right? I take a short entry right into here. At this point, with stops above the inversion. And then the market does this. And at that point, that's it. GG's. 0-1 on the day. Really kind of tricky early morning price action. It's really interesting that we did not take a London low or really any significant low before we went higher today. So it was definitely a little sketchy. Yeah, 0-1 on the first trade of the day. Next trade we took was a short trade at around 11:45. So let me just fast forward to 11:45 price action here. We'll delete all this stuff, but now the market's just drawing higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. But on the way up, I don't know if you got, like, I noticed this stuff. On the way up, this move to me just feels so engineered. I'm looking at this price action here and I'm like, okay, this is giving me the ladder up, elevator down vibe. Okay. And it's funny because that's exactly what ends up happening. But I want to show you where our short idea comes in. So I am looking at this around, is it 11:45 yet? Okay, so here we go. So next setup I'm looking for. Now, my eyes are drawn to these relative equal lows. Let me see. Is it these lows? Relative equal lows down here. Okay. And if we start to look at this price action here, we're starting to really just slow down. And at this point, I am trying to see if we can catch a short move into that draw and liquidity lower, okay, into those relative equal lows down here. So here's the model that I ended up trading. I think it was a 5-minute. Yeah, so the 5-minute breaker setup here where we end up drawing deep into that new week opening gap. Let me show you that 4-hour deep up into this gap here to the left. Okay, so I like this area for a flip. We're starting to show signs that the bears are taking over, right? On the 5-minute, we get a nice high, low, higher, high, lower, low, breaker block displacement through here. These relative equal lows look pretty free for us to take a draw into. I believe my entry on this is right around 916 was the price. Yeah, so right here. Shorts right here, stop above the breaker, and the target was right here at those relative equal lows. Now, I was able to scale out about 90% of the position. I left one runner on, ended up get tagged in profit. But yeah, this was that second setup of the day that we were able to make back everything from that first L. Now, when we were in this trade, it was choppy, but I was looking at this and I've seen this stuff before. This is a 3-drive pattern. The market's going to dump eventually. If you guys just want to look at that, just to highlight it, when you get a 1 drive, 2 drive, 3 drives, and it's setting up like this, 9 out of 10 times that drive, that third drive is going to drive lower to your draw. And then it does it again. So I was just chilling in this trade. I'm like, all right, well, we got 2 3-drive patterns, really not great price action, but I've seen the 3-drive pattern before, so I was comfortable with holding. And then we had full TP tagged right here. And that was, I believe, yeah, just about 50 points on that trade there. Now, funny enough, this breaker ends up delivering an absolutely massive short. I'm going to show you what ends up happening here. This thing ends up just dumping on that tariff news. But it's funny that this breaker is holding this whole time. And as you can see, as earlier I mentioned, I wanted London low to get tagged and they left London low. So at this point, when this happens, I'm like, all right, well, now they're going to go tag London lows. And this is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So they left London lows for later. Long story short, this market ends up dumping. And that breaker up here that I traded off of originally, and it's still held. I mean, look at that thing. No candle closures above the breaker, inside the breaker the whole time. And then it ends up dumping down to London low. And then eventually even going down to Asia low down here. So, yeah, the idea and the bias was correct in the afternoon. The first trade of the day was an L. Second trade was a W. But overall, it's a green day. It's a very green week. And that was it from me for the day. So, yeah, I just wanted to hop on here, explain to you why we took those 2 trades, show you guys what ended up happening in the afternoon off that little breaker. Imagine holding that trade there. I think this was like a 5K trade on 1 mini. Would have been a nice day, but happy with what we got. That's all we need inside these markets. You know, take our setups, take it to our draw liquidity, get in, get out, move on to the next day. I hope you guys have a blessed weekend, and I will see you guys in the next trade video. See you later.